Hello everyone. Welcome back to channel Nomad Explores. Today, Nomad will take you on a tour of one of South Korea's historical landmarks, Gyeongbokgung Palace, in Seoul. In today's video, you'll not only be introduced to the palace, but also have the chance to witness an impressive reenactment of the royal guard changing ceremony, a distinctive cultural tradition of South Korea. If you find the video interesting, please subscribe the channel and share the video so more people can watch it. On your screen now is the location of Gyeongbokgung Palace. The gray area represents the territory of Seoul. Gyeongbokgung Palace is considered the most well-preserved of the 5 major palaces, located north of the South Korean capital. Besides its official name, the palace is also known as the Northern Palace, because it is situated furthest north compared to the others. The Northern Palace is situated right in the heart of Seoul, so Nomad believe that you won't have any trouble finding it, even if it's your first time in South Korea. There are several ways to get to Gyeongbokgung Palace. One option is by taxi. As you know, taxis are the most convenient and fastest way to get around, but they are quite expensive. Therefore, taxis are usually only suitable for group travel. Another option is public transportation, specifically buses, or the subway. Since Nomad traveled directly to Gyeongbokgung Palace from Incheon Airport, Nomad chose the subway for its speed and affordability. Alternatively, you can rent a bicycle. This mode of transportation will certainly take up a lot of your time and energy, especially during the hot summer months. However, cycling will save you money and gives you the freedom to stop and enjoy the scenery at your favorite spots while exploring the capital of South Korea. Nomad has just exited the Gyeongbokgung subway station, and continues walking along the street towards Gyeongbokgung Palace. The palace is about a 5-minute walk from the station. Across the street is Gyeongbokgung Palace. It is open to visitors from 9 a.m. every day, except Tuesdays and public holidays. If a public holiday or compensatory day off falls on a regular closing day, the palace will remain open and will close the following day instead. Closing times vary between 5 p.m. and 6:30 p.m., depending on the season. The palace stays open later in the summer than in winter. However, please note that the final admission ends 1 hour before the closing time, regardless of the season. Now, before you is the main gate to Gyeongbokgung Palace. This gate is called Gwanghwamun. According to the Korea Heritage Service Royal Palaces and Tombs Center, the name Gwanghwa means virtuous influence by the king, and mun is a suffix indicating gate. Unlike the main gates of other palaces, the Gwanghwamun Gate has a double-roofed structure on a raised stone platform, similar to the construction of fortress gates, giving it a majestic and imposing appearance. If you've ever visited the imperial city of Hue, you'll surely notice that the Gwanghwamun Gate in Seoul has a similar architectural style to the Meridian Gate in Hue. Both have 3 entrances, with the central one reserved for the emperor, and the 2 side entrances for the crown prince and officials.
Currently, the archway on the right, when viewed from the outside, serves as the entrance for visitors, while the archway on the left functions as the exit. This separation is intended to reduce congestion, especially on weekends and holidays when visitor numbers are high. The location, shape, and structure of Gwanghwamun Gate have undergone several changes throughout history. Initially, the gate was built of wood. During the Japanese occupation, it was moved to a new location. In 1968, Gwanghwamun Gate was moved back to its original location, but was rebuilt with concrete instead of wood. In 2010, the gate was restored to its original shape and location, with the wooden structure you see today. According to information on the website of the Korea Heritage Service Royal Palaces and Tombs Center, Yongbok-gung Palace was the main palace of the Joseon Dynasty. The Joseon Dynasty was founded in 1392, around the same time as the Tran Dynasty in Vietnam. 3 years after ascending the throne, that means in 1395, King Taejo commissioned the construction of this palace. In Korean, the name Yongbok means the new dynasty will have good fortune and prosperity. Gyeongbokgung Palace was destroyed during the Japanese invasion of 1592 and left abandoned for many years. It wasn't until 1867, more than 270 years after the war ended, that the palace was restored. During the restoration, new structures were added to the palace. The 1910 Korean-Japanese Treaty marked the beginning of the systematic destruction of Gyeongbokgung Palace, to make way for the 1915 Joseon Industrial Exhibition. By 1926, the entire palace was obscured by the building of the Joseon Governor-General. During the palace restoration project that began in the 1990s, the Joseon Governor-General's building was demolished. Structures in the area, such as the royal residences and Gwanghwamun Gate, were restored and remain standing today. To enter the palace, visitors must pass through the Hungnimun Gate, which is right before your eyes. In Korean, the name Hungni means to promote proprieties, and mun, as Nomad mentioned a few minutes ago, is a suffix indicating gate. Like many other structures in the area, Hungnimun Gate was destroyed when the headquarters of the Japanese Governor-General's government in Korea was built during the Japanese colonial era. The gate was rebuilt in 2001, following the demolition of the Governor-General's headquarters in 1996. Nomad has entered the palace. The admission fee for an adult is 3,000 won, which is about $2, regardless of whether you are a domestic or foreign visitor. If you come in a group of 10 or more, the ticket price is reduced to 2,400 won per person. The following visitor groups are exempt from admission fees: visitors under 18, or over 65 years old, and visitors wearing hanbok, the traditional Korean attire. Additionally, the palace is open to the public free of charge on the last Wednesday of each month. Visitors who wear hanbok, whether traditional or modern, will be admitted free of charge if the attire is worn properly. The website of the Korea Heritage Service Royal Palaces and Tombs Center provides detailed instructions on how to wear a hanbok properly. Staff at the site reserve the right to refuse entry to those wearing the hanbok improperly or engaging in inappropriate behavior while dressed in this traditional attire. In addition to free admission for certain groups of visitors, the palace management also organizes free guided tours for all visitors in 5 different languages: English, Japanese, Chinese, Spanish, and French. Each tour lasts from 1 to 1.5 hours, and you should register in advance at the ticket office. The most prominent structure within Gyeongbokgung Palace is Gyeongbokgung Hall. This is the largest and most majestic main hall in Gyeongbokgung Palace. The 2-story structure was built on a 2-tiered stone platform, with a majestic stone staircase leading up to it. The interior was designed in a completely open style, creating a spacious and airy feel, enhancing the solemnity of the royal palace. In Korean, Jeonjong means to work diligently and rule wisely, while Jeon is the suffix for hall. Gyeongbokgung Hall served as the site where the king held his coronation ceremony, received officials, met with foreign envoys, and presided over important official ceremonies and events. Inside, the hall floor is paved with square bricks, creating a sense of solidity and majesty. The throne is placed prominently in the center north, behind which is a screen depicting the sun, moon, and a 5-peaked mountain, a sacred symbol of the royal family's supreme power. The ceiling was decorated with many delicate motifs, primarily in brown and blue, evoking a sense of both antiquity and solemnity. Prominent among them are a pair of elaborately carved dragons, contributing to the majestic and sacred atmosphere of the entire space. The front courtyard, also known as the Royal Courtyard of Gyeongbokgung Hall, was paved with wide, thin stone slabs, a distinctive feature of royal palaces. At the corners of the foundations and along the stair railings, statues of guardian deities representing the 4 cardinal directions, the 12 zodiac animals, and the 28 constellations are placed, symbolizing protection and the preservation of the sacredness of the building. Stone pillars were scattered throughout the courtyard, used to mark the positions of officials according to their rank during court ceremonies. The architectural layout of Yongbok-gung Palace reflects the principles of Confucianism, the fundamental ideology of the Joseon Dynasty. The entire complex was divided into many separate areas, each serving a specific function, from administrative activities to royal living. This palace is a prime example of traditional Korean architecture, renowned for its elegant wooden structure and exquisitely crafted tiled roof. Nomad now returns to the square by the Gwanghwamun Gate to enjoy a reenactment of the changing of the guard ceremony. On opening days, the show is held twice, at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. each, lasting approximately 20 minutes. It can be said that this is a unique cultural feature that contributes to the special appeal of Gyeongbokgung Palace in particular, and South Korea in general, thereby attracting a large number of tourists to visit and experience it every year. Currently, 2 Royal Guard detachments are marching into the square to perform the changing of the guard ceremony. One detachment takes up its guard duty, while the other concludes its shift.
지금부터 수문장 교대 의식을 시작하겠습니다. 조선시대 궁중의례는 큰 북으로 의식의 순서와 신호를 알리는 형식으로 초업, 이업, 삼업의 순서로 진행되었습니다. 먼저 취타대 연주와
The
교대
performance was
수문군이
presented in
입장하는
multiple
절차인
languages, first
초업을
Korean,
알리는
then English, and other languages.
치겠습니다.
Ladies and gentlemen, changing of the Royal Palace Guard ceremony will now begin. During the Joseon Dynasty, the beating of a giant drum signaled the beginning of royal ceremonies. First, there will be drum beats to signal the entrance of the gate guards and the military band.
各位游客，守门将交警。
During the Joseon Dynasty, the royal guards were responsible for guarding and patrolling the citadel gates and the palaces. The palace guards played a crucial role in protecting the king, directly guarding the entrances to the main palace where the king resided. They were in charge of opening and closing the gates, controlling access, and strictly monitoring the entire palace. This force was divided into day and night shifts, with each shift change marked by a ceremonial changing of the guard. In the early years of the Joseon Dynasty, the changing of the guard ceremony was held at Gyeongbokgung Palace, as it was the main royal palace and the residence of the king. However, towards the end of the Joseon Dynasty, when Gyeongbokgung was destroyed by fire during the Japanese War 1592 to 1598, Gyeonggbokgung Palace became the primary royal palace. The changing of the guard ceremony was moved to Gyeonggbokgung. In 1996, after years of extensive research into history and the Joseon era, this traditional Korean court ritual was recreated for the first time. Since then, Yongbok-gung Palace has become a must-see attraction in the capital of South Korea.
이어서 수문군이 수문장의 명령을 전달하는 깃발의 움직임과 악기 연주에 맞춰 광화문으로 이동하기 위한 대치가 이어지겠습니다.
The gate commander's order.
接下来，守门军根据新名整顿队形，为守门将交接儀式做準備。
続きまして、スムン軍がスムンジャンの命令に従って配置されます。
현재 수문군이 착용한 군복은 조선 전기인 15세기 복식을 재현한 것으로 문헌고증을 통해 제작되었습니다.
The actors are wearing the costume from the 15th century, which was manufactured based on various historical records.
出演者的军服是根据史料再现的朝鲜初期15世纪服装而制作。
この衣装は朝鮮時代初期の15世紀の衣装を資料に基づいて再現したものです。
당직 수문장과 교대 수문장의 신원 확인과 수문군의 배치 절차인 이염을 알리는 큰 북을 치겠습니다.
There will be drum beats to signal the start of the changing of the guard.
现在，击大鼓鸣示。
交代の始まりを告げる太鼓を鳴らします。
대구 3, 4.
지금 당직 수문장과 교대 수문장이 군호와 수문 상태를 통해 서로의 신분을 확인하고 굴레를 주고받습니다.
The gate guards are now checking their identification with passwords and ID tags and exchanging salutes.
现在两位守门将通过军用口令和守门将牌互相确认身份，互敬军礼。
今、両スムンジャンが暗号と身分証で互いの身元を確認し礼を交わしています。
조선시대 수문장은 궁궐문 또는 도성문을 지키는 최고 책임자로서 왕실의 안녕은 물론 국가 안위를 수호해온 중요한 직책입니다. 조선시대의 법전인 경국대전에 따르면 경국 점거를 마친 교대 수문장은 각 문의 이상 유무와 교대 상태를 확인하기 위해 관화문으로 이동하고, 근무를 마친 당직 수문장은 퇴장 준비를 위해 관화문 안쪽으로 이동하고 있습니다.
After exchanging salutes, the new commander on duty will be stationed at Gwanghwamun Gate for inspection, and the off-duty gate guards will be heading back to the square.
交接结束后，值守门将将前往光化门外检查交接情况，结束值班的守门将则退到光化门内。
交代を終えた交代スムンジャンは交代の状態を確認するためカンファムンの外側へ移動し、勤務を終えた当直スムンジャンは退場のためカンファムンの内側へ移動します。
이제 당직 수문군이 퇴장하는 절차인 삼엄을 알리는 큰 북을 치겠습니다.
There will be drum beats to signal the end of the changing of the Royal Palace Guard ceremony.
This changing of the guards ceremony offers visitors the opportunity to witness a traditional spectacle from hundreds of years ago, now accurately recreated with guards in royal uniforms, carrying ancient weapons and playing traditional musical instruments, as you can see in the video. So in today's video, Nomad's given you an overview of Gyeongbokgung Palace in Seoul, South Korea. Due to time constraints, Nomad couldn't share all the other structures and activities at the palace. There are many more interesting things about this palace that you'll find even more fascinating and unique if you have the chance to experience them in person. It's now time for Nomad to say goodbye to everyone. See you again in the next video.